Previously on Boarbound. We start our journey in Dunmoreau. We learn some new tricks. And a pig falls in love with us. This is Boarbound. We begin episode 2 of our epic quest having met our new emotional support ham, Boaromir. And luckily for us, after the hunter training quest, a reasonable way through level 10 and a chunk of rested XP. The true grind is yet to begin, so it's good to have something that will help us power through early on. Pet auto attack isn't preset in TBC Classic, so I've set up a handy macro that will allow me to click to get my pet to attack, but also cast Hunter's Mark. 2 boars, 1 fork. A high level means we also get to take on some scarred crag boar before we make our way up the mountain and proverbially back down the mountain again to Loch'd. We'd first have a pit stop though at the South Gate outpost, where there was plenty of boar to clear out on the way through. I had a bit of a nosy, but couldn't find anything of interest up top, not even a commander. Who runs this place? Clearly the boars. We hastily made our way to Loch'd, where alas, not all the goodies that we'd put on the auction house had sold when we checked our mailbox, but we picked up some quests which include Honour Students, Felsamar Blood Sausages, and Mountaineer Stormpike's Task. All of these are doable as they don't involve killing anything other than boars, and the one that does allows me to purchase the required materials off the auction house, from the benefits of my skinning and level working. We drop off the next part of Honour Students with Thorgrim Borrelson, who sends me on my merry, not unlike the Mirrored quest in Stormwind, but we'll touch on that later. We're off to Ironforge'd once more. We spoke to his friend Bouldertoe, who in turn gives us some stuff to bring back. We also hit the auction house and offload some stuff that we need to get rid of, as well as getting all the materials that we need for the Felsamar Blood Sausages, which sound delicious, mind you. Then back to the Griffin Rider to return to Brock. But not before we collect our first boar intestines and hitting level 11 subsequently. We pulsicize our way up to the Alga station, wherein we meet Mountaineer Stormpike and complete our quest up there. But we can't continue his requests because they involve the slaughter of kobolds, which, as you know, is a big no-no. So back to slaughtering the local boar population before we encounter a new 8-legged friend. We definitely don't want to kill him, and luckily we made a friend with less legs and even less height. Our friend took the aggro, killed the spider, and kept us XP 3 from the arachnid. We naturally thanked him before the little guy followed us back to Felsamar and pledged his allegiance.
The Pork Master, Master of the Pork.
Indeed, good sir.
We handed in our sausage quest before taking on an orange beast in the form of the mangy mountain boar, which didn't go well for us. We have a porcine nemesis already in Loch'd. Not content with getting my ass kicked by a pig, I went on a wander over the other side of the loch and yeah, again, not a great outcome. Maybe it was time for a train ride. We'd extinguished all of our quests in Loch'd that we could do that involved pork, so let's go ride the deep run tram to Stormwind. And likewise do the Stormpike's Order quest, another travel here, travel there, travel everywhere quest. We waltzed into Stormwind, picked up the flight path, where I quickly made haste to Goldshire to pick up some quests and make myself known to the local townsfolk.
Death to boars.
I would next travel to the Stonefield farm. We promised to seek out a lost necklace as well as eliminate a porky threat in the form of Princess the Boar. This is a great hype spawn area wherein you can get lots of XP if you're at a low enough level and can DPS down the boars. Of course, to find the lost necklace, the little punk Billy McClure requires us to get him a pie. Luckily, I already had the mats, so that will be an easy turn in soon. Princess was also no match for our high level prowess, as we nicked the brass collar to appease the Stonefields. We also decided to help out another lobby out here in the wilds of Elwynn with some leather gear, before a cheeky boar kill sees us hit level 12. We return to the Stonefields victorious, then turned matchmaker by finding Tommy Joe Stonefield near the local river, who was going to conspire with his nan to be with his love Maybell. Returned the pie to the undeserving Billy, before meeting covertly with William Pessel to see what we can do to help those lovers. But he wants us to go get some kelp from the local Murlocs. Ugh, fishy, not porky. So, therefore, a no-go. We wander east to the logging camp and pick up some wooden logs. We turn that in, and we're starting to make some progress towards level 13. We take a cruisy follow run back to Goldshire, courtesy of a local warrior, pick up a local blacksmith's task, and waltz back to Stormwind to deliver said package to Grimand Elmore, who of course wants us to go back to Modan to give it to our friend Stormpike. It's time though to pick up our latest hunter skills. Men Pet, which allows us to heal our pet, Arcane Shot rank 2, which increases its damage output to 31, Distracting Shot, which is a threat producer, and Wing Clip, which inflicts 54 damage and reduces the enemy's target movement speed by 50% for 10 seconds. And while we're getting our pet talents and enjoying the Hunter's Lodge, I'd like to take this opportunity to ask you all to show love and subscribe. At the time of uploading, we're at 46 subs, and I'd love to get over the line of 50 for the next video. And just like that, we're back in Modan, where we're going to give Stormpike his prezzies from Elmore, and aim to get revenge on the mangy mountain boar. Or maybe not. Or maybe. And once we knocked off one, we knocked off another, and another, and another. Next we were off to the auction house to drop off our skins that we've picked up, among other things, and do some shopping. We'd wrap up and hit level 13 with some good old-fashioned pork murder on the shores of the Loch'd. Starting level 13, we headed to hand in the excavation progress report, something we'd picked up off camera a little earlier. This involved having to go to Ironforge'd to meet Prospector Stormpike. Geez, these Stormpikes get around. I ended up dropping some gunpowder to some Dwarf and Brigands and finish up with the Iron Band's excavation quest. Unfortunately, he wants us to knock off some trogs, and, well, just like Murlocs, that's something we just can't do. We grind our way to level 13.5 before deciding we need to go to the next zone with some pig-based quests. We bid a farewell to Loch'd before heading to the famed lands of Westfall, one of my favourite zones in the game both in Classic and Retail. We meet up with the Fell Bros, and we're tasked with getting old Blanchy some oats, amongst other things. We meet a nice priest who saved our ass, and while he took on a defiance in this area, we cheekily snuck in and grabbed Furbell's pocket watch, which he left behind and wanted us to get. We finalise our hunt for oats before heading back to hand in our tasks for the Fell Bros, and after getting a sizable portion of XP for our troubles, we pat old Blanchy goodbye, because we all know what's in her future. Spoilers. We pick up the famous Westfall stew quest before annihilating some Eastern Kingdom swine to bring up level 14. We start off level 14 with a trip to the auction house to pick up the Westfall stew components that don't come from a pig. We also topped up at our hunter spells, this time picking up Scare Beast, Eagle Eye, and Eyes of the Beast. All of them are pretty utility and don't really do much in terms of damage, but hey, it is what it is. We also trained up our weapons in swords, two-handed swords and crossbows. Back to Westfall, and we went on the hunt for livers to train up our sword skill for the Gortusk liver pie, which we handed in, along with the Westfall stew quest, which gets us closer to level 15. And to get there, we'll need some more firepower, so again we go back to the auction house to pick up a heavy copper broadsword and Hunter's muzzleloader. The extra firepower will come in handy, as once we get through most of the boar quests in these zones, we'll be relying on new weaponry to help churn through boar after boar after boar to push through and get to the end of that leveling bar. And with that, we hit 15, with Boaromir and I putting the sword to yet another Westfall boar. Level 15 begins with Porkgrind mincing his way through sources of bacon in Westfall and grinding his way to halfway to level 16. The benefit of the grindiness of this level though has been a considerable amount of sellable leather and hides, as well as other things, which means we'll have a sizable bounty to buy gear as we level through. After a quick dash to the auction house, we go back to the killing fields before digging to level 16 in quick fashion. We kick off level 16 with some more selling, as we creep towards 5 gold and drop some BOEs and materials on there that we've collected along the way. We return to our porcicide ways until tragedy struck. I wasn't paying attention and Boaromir was no more. He'd ran away, probably because he hadn't had his daily meal of boar meat, but that's okay, meet Ham Solo, my new emotional support ham, as he gets his first boar kill under his belt. And he too got a taste for pork annihilation as we continue grinding our way along. You may notice there's a little swatch on the side of the screen. This is a tidy little add-on called X to level, which gives me an idea of how many boars I need to kill to the next level. Our destruction of the pig population continued at a steady rate until finally Stindle's Pond played host to us grinding out all the way to level 17. And on that note, we bid both Westfall and this episode farewell. I'll aim to get these eps out a bit quicker, but I do work full time and need to grind the levels out themselves. But we'll try to make some short form content in the interim to keep you all interested. And if you're interested in checking out more of my stuff, why not check out this 12-hour challenge that I did in retail. I'll see you in the next one.